Production in animals, age of adolescence. These chapters are also there. So today will be a practice class. We'll be doing some questions as practice. All right.
Sir,
Yeah, I'll be checking your paper, right? Yes, Gauri?
sir, in my like syllabus, these chapters are not there.
Which one? Name the chapter.
Both the chapters that you were telling.
Chemical effects of electric current. It is not there.
Yes, sir. And
Yeah.
another one also.
Reproduction also.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then I have got some other chapters also. Force and pressure is there.
No, sir.
Coal and petroleum.
Yes, sir.
You have no. Okay. So we'll be answering these questions then. I'll be dropping the screenshots into the chat box. Both of you turn your cameras on. Okay. And as your exams are near, whatever doubts you guys are having in any of the chapter, please get it cleared.
So I have a doubt.
Tell me.
So if you don't mind, would you be able to explain pressure in gases again?
Yeah, sure. So, Gauri, this is no chapter coal and petroleum. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I'll be dropping the screenshots. Okay, till here the questions are from coal and petroleum. All right, not till here. 17
sir.
to till 19. Meanwhile, Chakrika, you will be answering this question. So I'll be just quickly checking your paper. All right, you have this chapter, no? Chemical effects, right, Chakrika?
No, sir.
You have force and pressure, then I suppose, right?
Yes, I have force and pressure, microorganisms, and some natural phenomena.
Yeah. So these are some questions from that chapter. All right. So answer it right now in the chat box. I will be quickly checking your question paper, Chakrika, and I'll be analyzing it over here. Okay. Just hold on 1 minute.
So you already checked mine.
No. For Gauri, I meant to say actually. Sorry. The first question for which you answered. Question number 1 was angle between incident ray and the normal. You have answered angle of incidence correct. Yes, second answer is also correct. Very good. By the way, you guys answered this to me. What is another name for the convex lens? By what other name it is known? Convex lens.
A convex converging lens.
Converging lens. And the concave is diverging lens. Okay, but suppose if it were to be a mirror, it's a convex mirror. Suppose then is that a converging mirror? Convex mirror,
Can you
converging or
repeat?
diverging? If it is a convex mirror,
It's a divergent.
yeah. So convex mirror is a diverging mirror, but convex lens is a diverging in nature. Okay, sorry, convex lens is converging in nature, but convex mirror is diverging in nature. Okay. All right. Gauri, you can start answering one by one in the chat box, or you can answer all of them at once, however you wish. It would be better like there's some subjective questions also now. So you guys, the subjective questions, you guys will be writing it on a sheet of paper because typing might take some time. So you'll be writing it, and then you'll be later on you'll be reading it to me. Okay. So hold on. In section D, differentiate between regular and diffuse reflection. Here you have written regular reflection from a smooth and polished surface is known. Okay, pay attention for the spelling mistakes here. Gauri, go to the first question of section D, which you have answered. In known,
Yes.
you have not written an. Okay, be careful in spelling.
Okay, sir.
Also, in regular reflection, a parallel beam of light gets reflected in a single uniform direction. Okay. In rough, you have unnecessarily added T. In diffuse reflection, see, reflection from a rough. In the spelling, you have added T unnecessarily.
So where?
In the diffuse reflection. Okay. Reflection from a rough. In rough, at the end, you have added T. Like this, you have written. Okay. Also, diffuse reflection scatters the rays of light in multiple directions. Okay. Or multiple directions or different directions. Good. The large Korean people in Okay, in the second question, Chakrika, you can also answer this question. The question was, eyes of the nocturnal birds have a large cornea and large pupil. How does this structure help them? You have written it correctly, by the way. By the way, apart from this, what advantage do the nocturnal animals have? Particularly the night birds or any nocturnal animals? Apart from having a large cornea and large pupil, what else? What other advantage do they have? Yes, Chakrika, Gauri. Do they have more rod cells, the nocturnal animals?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so they do have more number of rod cells in their eyes. Good. And for the third question, what you have answered, explain the role of the iris in the human eye. That was the question. So you have written iris is the colored part in our eye. It regulates the amount of light entering the eye by increasing or decreasing the size of pupil. Very good. Very good. Okay. Gauri, the color of the eye is determined by which pigment? Some people have got blue eyes, some have black, brown. Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm. Yes. Chakrika, what about you? It's the same pigment that gives the skin its color.
I'm guessing it's melanin.
Exactly, it is melanin. So if more melanin is present, so thereby the color of the iris is going to be, any guess? Usually black or brown. Okay, no? Getting it. So you will find that people who are living in the Asiatic regions, like Asiatic countries, like we are living in the tropical region right now, near to the equator. So these people living in these regions usually have brown or black eyes. Okay. Although the color of the iris is determined by the genetic factor also. Okay. Okay. Left is waiting. Hmm. But the people living in the European countries or in the cold countries particularly, okay, they don't have usually brown or black eyes. They usually like the uh, blue eyes will be found, or like even the green iris would be found in them. Okay, for this one, it is correct, which we have written. That is refracted. In the fifth question, the spelling of dispersed is not correct. Chikrika? Sorry, Gauri. In this one, you have written dispersed as like this. S is missing here, by the way.
Okay.
The rainbow is formed when sunlight is refracted and dispersed in water droplets in the atmosphere. Okay. As light enters in the water droplets, it bends. So refraction happens and separates into component colors from dispersion. Okay. Okay, you have done really good in the paper. Okay. I would advise you to work a little bit on the answer writing and also avoid spelling mistakes. Okay, Gauri. And in the last question, there could have been more improvement in that one, where you had to basically explain about the how the rainbows are formed. Okay, how the rainbows are formed via dispersion. So that answer could have been a little bit more constructive. Like you could have gone on to write that rainbow is formed by the dispersion of sunlight as it will be passing through the tiny water droplets suspended in the air. Okay, where what will happen? The different colors of light would be bending at different angles because of their difference in their speed. So they will, as they will be entering into the water droplets, they will refract, then they will reflect from the internal surface of the water. In this way, they are splitted into different components like this. So basically dispersion is happening there, okay, where the light is separating into its component color. Also
Okay, sir.
you must mention about the reflection also. Let me show it once again. Like this is the water droplet, this is the ray of sunlight that enters into it, then it will be bending. As it will be bending, it splits up into its various colors, right? Violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red, like this. Then it reflects from the internal surface, and again it will be refracting. So when it exits the water droplet, it is visible in the form of the band of seven color that we call as rainbow. Okay, other than that, you have done good. So I would be giving you 19 and a half out of 20. Okay, half marks has been deducted here and there because of some silly spelling mistakes, or all right.
Okay, sir.
Yes, Alif and Abdullah, why you guys are late today?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Just good
So
evening.
sorry, sir. I was a bit outside, out of my mind. That's why.
Oh, okay. Chikri, you have answered all these questions. During dry weather, while combing hair, sometimes we experience hair flying apart. The force responsible for this is. So you have answered electrostatic force. Good. Different bricks have been kept here in different ways. So pressure exerted by the brick on the table will be okay. For those of you who are having this chapter, force and pressure, you guys can also answer this quickly.
So, by the
Chikrika,
way, what are we doing?
we are just doing some practice questions. These are some practice questions for your upcoming exams.
Oh, yes, sir.
Shikrika, I am dropping this screenshot in the chat box. Okay, you can do the remaining one from there. Yeah, Abdullah, you have this chapter, no?
No, sir, I'm not having force and pressure.
Oh, you don't have. Okay. So for the third one, you have written, Chikrika, the SI unit of, that is Newton per square meter. Very good. For pressure,
So what about the
in short, basically, but we write down this as, yes.
second one?
Um, Repeat again. The second one, maximum pressure in A. Exactly, that one is correct. So SI unit of pressure is basically Pascal, and Pascal is what? We know pressure equals to force upon area. Force, the SI unit of force is Newton. Area is written in square meter, so Newton per square meter. That is basically, in short, written as Pascal. Determine the pressure when the force of 200 Newton acts on an area of 20 square meter. So that one you have written as 10 Pascal. Good. The pressure exerted by liquid due to increase in depth. So this one you have written increase exactly. The remaining questions you can access it from the chat box. All right. Corey, you are done with all the questions or not? From the chapter Petroleum?
Oh, sorry, sir. I was sending to Learnivio, sir. I'm done.
You're done? Okay. All right. Um, Abdullah, do you have any doubts? Any questions, any topic in which you are facing difficulty from any of the
Yes,
chapters?
sir, in chapter chemical effects of electrical and time,
You're having doubts. Okay. Can you be a little bit more specific and mention the topic names?
2 minutes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I have a doubt in the 8th question.
8th question. Hold on. 8th question. A student investigated the relationship between the weight of the block and the friction between it and the surface. As he added weights to the block, he found that the force needed to move the block. Yeah, see, basically, what we have learned about friction, there are different factors on which friction applied between two bodies depends upon, no? Isn't it? It's the surface area and contact, the weight of the body, right? Weight of the, if the weight of the body were to increase, so thereby you need to push it push it harder, no? Suppose that
Yes, sir.
we have taken a block. Okay. This will be having some weight. Okay. So a student investigated the relationship between the weight of a block and the friction between it and the surface. Suppose it is placed on a table. So as we will try to push it with some force, so frictional force will resist its movement. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Further, the question mentions that the student goes on to add more weight to this. He puts another block of weight. So now what will happen? He found that the force needed to move the block. What's going to happen? If suppose earlier he were applying a force of 10 Newton, but the box was moving. Okay, suppose so he will have to apply the same force of 10 Newton or more or less.
More.
More obviously, no. So right option is A. Got it? No.
Yes.
Yeah. Shikrika, I will get back to your doubt in a minute. Okay.
Answer one question.
Electroplating liquids conduct electricity. Okay, Abdullah. Yes, Abdullah, tell me.
That's why I'm having revision tests in school
Yeah,
of science.
I got to know about that. You have shared the dates as well. Okay. So on 17th of February, you are having coal and petroleum, right? Okay. By the way, I have taken questions from coal and petroleum also. Gauri is doing that one. You will also be doing that one. Okay. As of now, I will be just addressing your doubt. But before I address your doubt, now just I need you to do some questions from chemical effects of electric current. Okay, that will help me know like how clear your concepts are. All right.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So first question, an electric current can produce.
The electric current can produce.
Why don't all of you turn your cameras on?
Electric current can produce from the option. Okay.
Yeah, from all these options. Options are given here.
So magnetic effect on.
Only magnetic effect. No. See, when current flows in a wire, like when the current will be flowing in this wire, so it will become hot also if too much of current is flowing through it.
No,
Suppose
sir. It will be then D.
it will be dinner.
Yeah.
So it gives a heating effect also. On that heating effect, room heaters, geysers, so many appliances are working. Magnetic effect also is given off, no? So electromagnets are working on this effect, right?
Yes.
Then chemical effect is also given off, as we have learned in the chapter chemical effects of electric current, where they can be change in that change in the color of the solution. There will be evolution of bubbles, deposition of metals, etc. Option D is correct one.
Yes.
Now answer the second question. Read the question carefully and try to answer it.
Bhuju and Pahi. Should I read it out?
No. Just read it slowly and you just have to answer it.
Yes.
Gauri, let me just access the questions first. The first you have written D, for second you have written C, third D, fourth D, and for the fifth one you have written C, for six you have written D, Gauri, and for 7 A, and for 8 A. 7 and 8 you have written A. For 9th and C, 9th and 11 you have written the answer as C. The 12th also C. Okay, let me open the question. So for first one, it is correct. Chikrika, are you done with all your questions? For second, you have answered C. Yes, that is correct. It is inexhaustible natural resource. For third one, you have which of the following is a pair of exhaustible natural resource? You have written it as D. Wildlife and minerals. Very good. For the fourth one, coal is processed in industries to get some useful product. Which of the following is not obtained from coal? So for that, it is D. Very good. And for fifth one, good. For sixth one, you have answered correct. 7 and 8, you have answered E. Yeah. Carbonization of dead vegetation. So that is correct. 9th, 11th, and 12th, your answers are C. For 9th one, it is not correct. See, naphthalene balls, what do we use naphthalene balls for? Does anyone? The naphthalene balls are used for what purpose? Yes, Chakrika or anyone? Abdullah? Like earlier, like your
Sir,
grandmothers are
can I
like,
tell?
yeah, you can.
It is used for killing cockroaches or killing insects.
Basically repelling them. Okay, keeping them
Yeah.
away. Also, it is particularly used to keep the moths away. Okay, now it is used as a moth repellent. Getting it, Gauri? It is used as a moth repellent. Okay. So for this one, the right answer is this one actually. Hold on. This one is used for repelling the moth. Okay. And for the 10th, Alif, you also there, no? Okay, Alif, you also do these questions. All right. The questions from chemical effects of electric current, you also answer it. Yeah, hold on. For 11th one, you have answered.
Sir, which question do I have to do?
You can do these questions. Start from second question. For the 11th one, God, you were answering C. The question is petroleum was formed from organisms. That is C. Yeah, that is correct then. For this, you have answered C. Natural gas is stored under high pressure as compressed natural gas. Good. Third, 13th question, you have an answer, Gauri.
Sir, I didn't understand the question.
Okay, hold on. You are provided with a mixture of petroleum and water. So can you suggest a method to separate the two? These two are immiscible liquids, but they do not mix into each other because of difference in their density, right? So you can use the method of decantation simply now. Decantation, you guys understand? You can use a separating funnel like this. A separating funnel like this can be used. Okay, where we will put the mixture. This is going to be water. Okay, and that suppose is the petroleum on top of that is the petroleum. So this one is basically separating funnel. Okay, that one is separating funnel. So we can use a separating funnel to separate the mixture of petroleum and water. This is that's a stop clock basically. So as the water would be dripping out of this, the complete water will drip out of this. We will collect this in a beaker and then we will stop this. So petroleum will be left in this one. Got it? No? Yes or no? Hmm. For 14th question you have answered.
Sir, sorry to disturb. Can you just put that step?
I was going to change. Kerosene is a petroleum product used as fuel for stoves, lamps, and jet aircrafts. Okay, good. 16th one you have answered fuel, carbon dioxide, and liquid typical. What is one of the fuel used to cook food? Okay, when heated in air, coal burns and produces mainly carbon dioxide gas. Coal tar is a black, thick liquid with an unpleasant smell. All right, Gauri,
What's
it's
that?
going to, with an unpleasant smell. For this one, no, for the C of question number 16.
Okay, sir.
Okay, not a typical smell, unpleasant smell. Okay, unpleasant,
sir.
or you can say a pungent smell.
Okay, sir.
D one you have answered petroleum. Okay, forest and coal are non-renewable resources. Correct. Can go. Chakrika, let me see your answers then. You are still answering the 17th, 18th, and the 19th one, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Guys, I'll be holding on for just 1 minute. I'll be coming back to yours, Aleph and Abdullah. Okay. Chakrika, you were done with all the questions from this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's the answer for 9th question?
So friction.
It is friction. So the falling force acts occurs between the brake pads on the wheel. Say obviously that's going to be friction. Okay, but suppose if this bicycle is in motion, and forget about the options. So this bicycle would be under, and there's a person also obviously. Okay, so how many forces are there in this? How many forces can you see?
Friction force, muscular force,
Hmm?
gravitational force,
Good. Downward force would be gravitational force. Good.
uh,
Hmm? Will there be drag? Basically, air resistance, right?
yes,
So that too is basically frictional force from the air. Okay. And the muscular force too. Yeah, from this one, let me see what you guys have answered. So Abdullah, for third question, where's the answer for second question, Abdullah? Second question, you have
Sir,
an
I
answer?
had shared it. Second question. A, sir.
Oh,
A.
okay. Oh, you didn't mention the question
All
number.
that.
No issues. Alif, you also have to do these questions. Okay. These questions from this slide. So two different experiments are done by Bujo and Paheli here. They found that the bulb in the setup A is glowing more brightly in comparison to the other setup. So what conclusion you will make? So obviously, if higher current were to flow through the setup A, then only the bulb will glow more now, right? Okay. What can you guys say about the solution? Yeah, what you guys can say about the solution? About like which ones is a strong electrolyte? Solution A or is solution B? Mm-hmm. Abdullah, Alif, or anyone? Like we have done this, so others also can answer.
Can you repeat?
In which one of the two, like is solution A is a strong electrolyte or solution B?
A.
Exactly,
A.
no? That's why it will allow more electricity, more current to pass through it. Hence the bulb glows brightly. The third question you have answered D. Exactly according to the guidelines of the local authority. For the fourth, it is A. Good. And then for the fifth, you have answered D. Exactly. So vegetable oil is not a good electrolyte. Okay, it's a poor electrolyte. Okay, you have vegetable oil. In fact, the fuel oil also, coal. Sorry, not. I mean, petrol, diesel, kerosene. That too is a poor electrolyte. Then for the
Then sixth
sixth,
one I am having doubt.
1 minute. So which of the following metal is used in electroplating to make objects appear shinier? Okay, like in the bathroom taps or the door handles of the car, they have this shiny appearance on them. So the body will be made up of a cheap metal, but it will be having a coating of chromium on top of it. Getting it
Oh,
now?
so my answer is luckily correct.
Mhm. For the sixth one, you have answered C, that is chromium. Very good. Chromium itself is a very expensive object, so we apply a thin layer of this over for that. For the seventh question, which of the following solutions will not make the bulb in figure 14.12 glow? So your answer is you haven't answered this one.
No, so there was not that question. That.
Okay. See, so different electrolytes are mentioned here. You have sodium chloride, that is salt solution, NaCl, copper sulfate, CuSO4. Then you have silver nitrate, that is EgNO3. Then you have sugar solution in diluted water. Now, what we know, sugar solution is not a good conductor. Okay, Abdullah. Sugar solution is not a good conductor of electricity. So if you were to use this now, the bulb will not glow. It's a poor conductor. Got it?
Yes, sir.
I hope it clears your doubt. Okay, you guys give me 4 or 5 more minutes. I will be getting back to your doubts. Okay, now, Chakrika and Abdullah. If you can also ask any questions if you have. Yeah, for the 17th one. So it is coal obtained from mines. Okay. Abdullah, you can also answer this question. What is this one going to be? It's a fossil fuel. What is this? These are the these are the jumbled up words. You have to unjumble them. This is petroleum, right? Okay, no? The
Yes.
place where various fractions of petroleum are
Refinery.
separated. Refinery. And this one is
Kerosene.
kerosene. And this one? It's an example of inexhaustible natural resource. This one you haven't answered, Gauri. Oh, you have.
So
Okay, good. You have actually. I didn't saw that. So it is an example of inexhaustible natural resource. Never it is going to exhaust. I can give a hint like it is not going to exhaust for the next 5 billion years. That's obviously is we are referring to the sun now. So it's the sunlight. Yeah. Got it. For 18th one, slow process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal, that is coalification or coal formation you have written. No,
like
it is carbonization now. You can say
okay,
qualification, but as we have discussed carbonization, that one is more appropriate. Okay.
okay.
That one is fossil fuel. That one is unpleasant good. Okay, Abdullah, answer the D1. During the processing of coal to get coke, coal tar and dash are obtained. Fill in the blank here.
Coal tar and coal.
Coal
Petrol.
gas.
Coal gas.
Coal gas, no. In the destructive distillation of coal, remember what are the products we were getting? We were getting the coal, coal tar, coke, and the coal gas.
Yes, sir. I didn't
No
revise.
issues, no issues. Gauri, you have answered frictional distillation. That's fractional distillation. Okay. That one is fractional. Abdullah, what about this? Excessive burning of fossil fuel is a major cause of?
Excessive burning of fossil fuel is a major.
They can be many answers, but the appropriate answer would be global warming. Okay.
Warming.
Global warming. Because excessive burning of fossil fuel releases harmful gases like carbon dioxide, okay, sulfur dioxide, etc. So these gases are responsible for causing global warming, particularly carbon dioxide gas.
Carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
Or water pollution, climate change.
Not water pollution, you can say air pollution.
Yes.
Oxygen in air is an exhaustible natural resource. That one is false. Good. For B1, you have written. Okay, that one is also false. Good. For C, you have written true. D, you have written good. And the E1 you have written, that is true. Very good, Gauri. Okay. So there were some more questions by the way, Chakrik. I didn't saw that this one. Okay. So you had this doubt in the atmospheric pressure, right? Or like how the pressure in the gas is created. Okay, let's understand
Yes.
this. About the pressure, what we know. Pressure is simply defined as force acting per unit area. It is called as pressure. Okay. Now suppose that every object, like the different mediums which we study about, whether it be solid mediums, liquid or the gaseous medium, all of these are made up of particles. They have particles in them, right? Considering about the gaseous medium or basically the air. So air comprises of different types of gases in it, isn't it? Different types of gases are present in the air, whether it be carbon dioxide, whether it be oxygen, whether it be oxides of nitrogen, whether it be nitrogen itself, whether it be helium, whether it be neon. So we see that air is basically a mixture of gas. It has so many gases in it. Or can we say that air has so many particles in it? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And all these particles are always in motion. They are always in movement. Okay. So suppose this is a column of air we have taken. This is a column of air. Okay, we are considering this column of air, suppose. So in this much column of air, say that these are the gaseous molecules. These are the different particles. So they are always in motion. And the particles of the gases are having higher amount of energy. So they are always in motion, like they are having kinetic energy in them. So they will always be in motion like this. Okay. Now suppose we have taken a balloon. Now we are filling the air in it. We are filling the air in it via air pump. So basically we are pushing the particles into the tube, into the balloon. We are pushing those air molecules in this. So as the air molecules are being pushed into the balloon, they will hit the surface of the balloon, isn't it? They will strike it with some force.
Yes.
Okay. So take one such particle over here. Like this is basically some air particle. Now it is hitting the wall of the balloon. It is hitting the surface of the balloon with some force. So it hits with some force. Then, as this air particle is going to hit the balloon surface, so it is like it will be hitting a small amount of surface of the balloon will be hit by this, isn't it? It will come in contact with the surface, isn't it? So it is basically the force is going to act over this unit area, over a small area here. Yes or no? So we are seeing that the air particles are hitting the boundary or basically the internal wall of this balloon here, internal surface of the balloon with some force. And it is hitting a given area of this. And there are uncountable number of air particles inside this now. There are so many of them, and all of them together are hitting the surface of the balloon with some force. So they are basically creating pressure. Okay, now when force acts over a unit area, that is called as pressure. So these are the gaseous molecules, air particles basically. So they will be creating a pressure inside this. That's how the balloon will be inflating. That's how it will be inflating. Getting what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
So this is how pressure in gases medium is created by the molecules, by the particles of that medium.
Sir, if you want to explain it normally or like write it without an example, how do you write?
So we'll be writing down that the pressure in a gas is created due to the constant collision of the gas molecules with the wall of the container in which they are kept. So as these molecules will be hitting the walls, they will exert a force, and the combined force of all these collisions across a given area will result in the pressure exerted by the gas. Should I write it over here? Give me one. I will be writing down the definition. So I was saying that pressure in the gas is created by the constant collision, by the constant, we should say random collision. Okay, no? Because there's not a specific direction in which these molecules are moving. They'll be moving in any given directions. So by the constant random collisions of gas molecules with the wall of the container container, like it could be anything. It could be a container, it could be a balloon, or it could be anything. Container here basically is a term being referred to whatever object it is given to you. Okay, so as these molecules hit the walls, they exert a force. They exert a force, and the combined force of all these across a given area results in the pressure exerted by the gas. Hope this concept is clear to you now. Yes, Gauri, is it clear? Sorry, Chikrika, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Roni, how are you? Try joining the class on time. Meanwhile, you will be answering these questions in the chat box, Chikrika. Abdullah, you had some doubt from the chapter chemical effects, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hold on.
But the most of it I have solved it.
You have solved it.
You have solved it.
Okay,
Most of
okay. Okay. The concept of electroplating is clear to you or not? How electroplating is done, how
yes, sir,
electrolytic refining it is.
yes, sir,
Okay.
it is.
Okay. So how about I ask some questions to you then? Hmm? Let's do some questions. Meanwhile, Gauri, Roni, Aleph, you guys let me know if you have any questions.
Sir, this screenshots you're sharing to me, should I have to do this?
No. These are meant for Chakrika or those who are having the chapter colon, force and pressure.
Sir,
Mm-hmm.
sir, I have a doubt in microorganisms.
Okay. State your doubt.
Sir, that food preservation and food spoiling.
Food preservation and spoiling. Okay. The various methods of food preservation and spoiling, right? Okay. Got it. We'll be getting back to this. Yeah. Now, you answer some of the questions, and anyone who knows the answer to the question, they can also answer. So, first question is that if you
Sir,
have Mhm.
yes. Before asking question, can you explain one more time this electroplate?
electroplating, the process
Yes.
of electroplating. Okay. So, process of electroplating. All right. Let's take some example. Suppose you have taken these two objects are given here. Suppose this is a spoon. Let us just suppose that this is a spoon. Okay, and we need to do a coating of let's say silver on it. Getting it? It's a spoon, and this one is silver rod, and you want to apply a layer of a coat of silver onto the spoon. Okay, now what is the first thing you need to make sure? The very first thing you need to make sure that like you have taken the correct type of rods, correct electrodes you have taken. That is one thing. Further, the silver rod, the metal that you're going to use for doing electroplating has to be always made anode. So that's why you're connecting it to the positive terminal of the battery. And the object over which electroplating has to be done, getting it, that is always made as cathode by connecting it to the negative terminal. That thing is clear?
Yes, sir.
So this one here is anode and this one here is cathode. Okay. Next, you are doing the coating of silver over the spoon here. So the salt solution or the electrolyte you are going to take here must have silver in it, right? It must
Yes,
have silver in it. So we will take silver nitrate. Silver nitrate has to be taken here. That is AgNO3. These things are clear so far?
yes, sir.
So also make sure that these rods are not having any unwanted substance on it. It is clean. You can clean it with a sandpaper or something. So object to be plated is connected to the negative terminal and made the cathode. Object that is used for electroplating, that is silver, is made the anode by connecting it to the positive terminal. Then both of them have been dipped into the electrolytic solution. Okay. The electrolytic solution has to be made up of a salt that contains the metal to be used for electroplating. Then now electric current will be passed through it. So the electric current will be passed through this and the metal ions will start to break down. This silver will start to dissolve into the electrolyte solution. That is one thing. So the metal ions will be dissolving into the electrolyte here. Then the electrolytic solution you have taken, that will also break down. So this is silver. So silver will start to dissolve into the electrolyte. And since it is a metal now, metals are always positive. Metals are always Positive ions. Okay, no? So positive ions, what do we call that? Positive ions, what do we call that? Do we call them as cations? Okay.
Yes.
So we call them as cations. So say that this is silver. Ag is the symbol used for silver in short. Okay. That is Ag plus. What about this solution you have taken here? That is silver nitrate. That is going to break down also into Ag plus and NO3 minus simply. All right. So that is cation and that is anion. Now the question is that this electrolyte solution also has broken down into silver and NO3 minus. NO3 minus. Then the spoon is made the cathode, meaning that it is negatively charged. It is negatively charged and it will attract the positive charge particles towards it now. Yeah. So the
Yes.
positive metal ions here, that is silver ions, will start to get attracted to the cathode. So slowly there will be deposition of silver over the cathode. So that is how the method of electroplating is done. Got it now? Any doubt, any questions?
Yes.
Clear? Okay. You answer some questions to me. The first question is, the object to be electroplated is connected to positive or negative terminal. The object to be
Positive.
that is connected to, listen to the question carefully. The object to be plated. The object to be plated is connected to which terminal?
Plated. So it will be negative.
Negative. Okay. Then suppose you are doing the electroplating of copper over brass. This is a copper rod and you are doing a coating of copper over the brass. So which one should be made anode?
Anode.
Which one has to be made anode?
The positive one.
The positive. Which one out of copper and brass has to be made anode? Anode means it has to be connected to the positive terminal. Always keep this in mind as I was explaining that. Since here you had to do the coating of silver over the spoon now. This was the
Yes.
metal you have to use for electroplating. So we connected it to the positive terminal and thereby it became anode. So here also you're doing the coating of copper over the brass now. So copper will be made anode by connecting it to the positive terminal. Hope it clears it out.
Yes. Sir.
Okay, name the electrolyte you will take here. Take your time and
Electrolyte.
answer.
Yes. Sir.
Okay. Gauri, you have doubt in the different methods of preservation of the food, right?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
see. There are various methods. All of them are common in some way. Like essentially all these techniques are done to remove the moisture, okay, or to inhibit the growth of bacteria, to slow down the growth of the bacteria, reduce the moisture in the food, then stop or slow down the growth of the bacteria and kill some of the bacteria. So that is the basic principle behind all the different methods, whether it is be canning, salting, adding sugar, whether it be fermentation, whether it be vacuum packing, whether it be pasteurization and all that. Let me explain to you one by one all of them. Okay, see, talking about canning, or like we have some traditional methods also. Like for example, the first we had learned about sun drying, basically to remove the excess moisture from the grains or from the food. So right after the crops are harvested now, when all the methods winnowing and threshing and all that have been done, so the grains are left open in the sunlight to dry for some time so that the extra moisture can evaporate from it and thereby it will slow down the growth of the bacteria. That is called as sun drying. Okay, now
Yes.
next you have canning. So we seal the food in airtight containers and then we'll be heating them to very high temperature in order to kill the bacteria. Getting it? So you have the method of canning, okay, where the food will be stored in the airtight containers. Getting it? so that it can be preserved from spoilage. And also it will be heated to high temperatures to kill the bacteria. So that is the method of canning. As for the freezing, so in this method, we'll be storing food at very, very low temperature, and this will slow down the growth of the bacteria's growth of the microorganisms like fungi and the bacteria. Their growth will slow down. Also, we will slow down their metabolic activities. Getting it now? So they can't grow, they can't multiply, most of them will die. So in this manner, most of the fruits, vegetables, even sometimes the dairy products and meat is also preserved in this method via freezing. Got it? Then we have the method of fermentation also. So fermentation is also one of the way by which we can preserve the nutrients of the food. So in this, we will be basically preserving the food by giving it some other form. Like milk will be converted into yogurt or cheese. Getting it? So we are essentially not preserving the food in its original form, but we are converting this into some other form. But the nutrient present in it is getting preserved. So there we take help of some microbes like yeast is used, or lactobacillus is used to preserve the food, like in the preparation of yogurt or cheese, etc. Got it?
Yes.
Then we have the method of salting, and we have the method of sugaring also.
Sir,
Yeah.
can I leave the class?
Okay. You can.
Thanks.
Others can also leave. I'll be just explaining this quickly to you, Gauri. Others can leave. Okay. So in salting, we'll be adding salt to the food. As you know, salt absorbs the moisture from the food. Okay, now they are good at absorbing the moisture. Next, they will create such a condition for the microbes now that they will not be able to grow in that. It kind of creates a very harsh or unfavorable condition for the microorganisms. So that will inhibit the growth of the microorganisms by adding salt. That's why in the preparation of the pickles, lots of salts are added, right? Hope it is clear. Then you have
Yes.
the method of sugaring also. So in sugaring now, basically what we do, like sugar also helps in absorption of the moisture. But apart from that, when we add too much of sugar, like due to the high concentration of the sugar, the bacteria will not grow in this. And particularly it will be used to preserve the food. Like you see in the jams, in the jellies, there this method is used. Okay. So these are some of the different methods. By the way, one more is there, that is pasteurization is also, right? So pasteurization is the method, as you'd be already aware, like Louis Pasteur invented this method, where the milk would be heated up to the temperature of 71 degrees Celsius for a few minutes, and then it will be immediately cooled down. Okay. So this will be killing down most of the bacteria. Okay, it will kill down most of the bacteria, most of the harmful bacteria will be killed. And it will be used to not only preserve the milk, but even the fruit juices are subjected to this method of preservation. All right. Is it clear to you?